Borda, good morning. How are you this morning? I'm feeling energetic, enthusiastic, and my head is bursting. Look at the length of that list. There's about 30 little jobs on it. Well, they're not all little either. Big admin day today, and a couple of meetings, and lots to do. And lots of the admin is really exciting, actually, because it's planning stuff. Because Christmas is coming, isn't it? Yes, we are allowed to say it. Christmas is coming. And I'm listening to people with their ideas for how churches and communities are going to celebrate Christmas. And it's so creative and so exciting and so encouraging. And I'm loving this idea that instead of apologising for what we can't do, we should just be grasping what we can do and making it special in its own way. So this weekend I've talked to people about virtual choirs for online carol services. I've talked to them about street walking nativities. Well, you're not doing that. And we've launched the Facebook Christingle that we're going to be doing for the Wentwood Ministry area. Just so much creativity, and I think you're awesome. There is something else that I'm doing this week that I'm really excited about that comes out of that creativity. Clergy, and actually you, we are all encouraged to take a retreat once a year. We're encouraged to retreat and to settle back from everything that excites us and makes us busy and spend some time in the company of God, to allow him to refresh us, to work in us, to perhaps challenge us and perhaps redirect us. And it's something that we are strongly encouraged to do. In fact, it's in my working agreement that I will take an annual 5-day retreat. Imagine how I've managed that this year. Yeah, it hasn't happened, has it? And that was sort of okay. I kind of coped with that, and then it got to beginning of September, and I thought, no, do you know what? I really do need a retreat. And contrary to what you might think, 5 nights away in a retreat house, quite often it will be attached to some kind of religious community, is not a holiday. Changing routine is a great break, but actually retreat's quite hard work if you do it properly. And I felt the need to do something like that. And when I had a little Google, there wasn't a single retreat house I could find that was operating along those traditional lines. Of course they weren't. It was just silly of me to look. And then somebody mentioned they'd been on a retreat in daily life online with an organisation in London. And I just thought, whoa, this could be about as good as it could get. And actually it could work really, really well. So I Googled that and I found it. And so yesterday evening I went to the initial meeting. And this week I am in retreat. I am retreating in daily life. So what on earth does that look like, I hear you say? Well, basically I'm not retreating because I am still in daily life, and I will still be doing everything that you might expect me to be doing, and you can still ring me and contact me and do, I'm around and about. But I have promised to set aside a part of every day where I will just sit in the presence of God and pray and let him do his work in me, setting aside all distractions, all job lists, turning the phone off, just making a complete break. And this is in addition to my normal routines. So the daily office is not part of this. Saying morning prayer, that just happens anyway. This is about setting aside a very specific time. The other part of being in retreat is that I then at some point every day have a Zoom meeting with my retreat guide, and this is somebody who will then listen to how that prayer time went and will set me some kind of framework for the next prayer time. That might be to give me some scripture to read, it might be to set me a challenge to do some art, or I hope she doesn't do that because I don't do art. I'm not a particularly arty person. It might be your bag perfectly, but I would find that less than helpful. So probably it will be about praying with scripture, and that's not about reading and analysing the Bible and trying to understand it. It's about reading the story and soaking it in and letting it do its work and letting it speak to me personally, individually, quietly, privately, for change, for refreshment, for comfort, for challenge, who knows. And so I begin that this morning. I shall set aside some time. I shall spend that time in the company of God, and then I meet my retreat guide this afternoon for the first time. And we do that every single day, Monday to Friday, and then on Friday evening, everybody across the country, the world, how I don't know how far apart these people have come. There's about 25 of us doing this retreat. We all come back together on Friday evening to celebrate. You can tell I'm excited, can't you? I feel like I've found a little bit of a moment in my week, and I have been planning towards this that is going to I can set aside and is going to refresh me in my relationship with God. It's not about resting. It's not about taking time off. It's about caring for your soul, caring for my soul, my spirituality, my faith. And that has got to be a good thing, hasn't it? And so there we are. I've whittled on. I've taken all the time to explain to you something that's incredibly personal and perhaps of no interest, and I'm sorry if it's not. But I would encourage you to have a think about whether it's something that you could do, not least because you don't have to leave your family anymore. You don't have to worry about putting your dog into kennels, or who's going to pop in on your mum, or look after the grandchildren after school. None of those things are a factor in it. I commend it to you. I hope you have a good day. If you want to know more about retreating and the different ways you can do it, please get in touch, and also keep your eye open for that Chris Dingle advert. It's all over Facebook at the moment, and if you don't do Facebook but you know somebody who would like to take part, drop me a line and I will send you details. Hey, have a lovely day. I've talked far too quickly and I'm sorry for that. I shall see you again later in the week. Lots of love. God bless. Bye bye.